What's up guys, Ryan here. Today I want to do a quick video about the changes coming to the Printful platform for those of us doing dropshipped print-on-demand sales on e-commerce platforms like Amazon, eBay, Etsy, and then fulfilling those orders through Printful. You've probably, if you're paying any attention, you probably noticed that you're starting to see sales tax charged to you by Printful, and you didn't have any say in this matter. It kind of just happened overnight. So what happened was starting March 1st, Printful announced that they were going to start charging sales tax in certain states. Now, first, I just want to tell you why this is the case. So I've been doing a lot of research. I'm not a tax expert. I'm a web developer. According to TaxJar right here, the Supreme Court ruled in South Dakota versus Wayfair that you no longer had to have a physical presence in a state to be required to pay sales tax in that state. Now you can have what they called an economic presence. So what this meant was, I'll just read it. In other words, due to the Wayfair ruling, even if you do not have a physical presence in any state, if you pass a state's economic threshold for total revenue or number of transactions in that state, you're legally obligated to collect and remit sales tax to that state. And you're thinking, well, what is the threshold? Am I really going to have to do this? Well, if you actually look it up, the threshold is often only 200 transactions per state, which is quite easy to, I mean, if you're established, it's pretty easy to surpass that, or $100,000 a year, which, you know, and that's, again, each state is different. So this is another TaxJar page, but Colorado, $100,000 a year gross revenue or 200 separate transactions. Connecticut, $250,000 a year. Georgia, $250,000 a year, but they all use 200. So 200 seems to be the most common number of transactions for you to be required to remit sales tax to them. And so anyways, what Printful ended up doing to try to make this easier and protect themselves from any liability is they just went ahead and charged sales tax on our behalf. So they have a list here which represents the 36 states that they charge sales tax in currently, and this list can change. It's subject to change, but they maintain it on a Printful URL that I'll put in the description. Anyways, you can see a list of the states here where if you have customers purchasing from the states, you'll likely see something like this on your Printful bills. So notice this extra line called tax. Here they charge $1.78. Here they charge $2.12. So collecting sales tax on our behalf for like Amazon orders, for instance, is actually doing us a favor in my opinion, because the alternative to this is you have to go register for a tax certificate in each individual state and then collect sales tax yourself and remit sales tax to each state yourself. Obviously, this is meant to be a passive as possible business model, and that sounds like a lot of work because it is. So by Printful doing this, we're not on the hook to do that on our Amazon sales. Well, Printful also does it on our Etsy sales and our eBay sales and sales from everywhere else. They're just doing it across the board. The only way this becomes a problem is what if the marketplaces themselves charge sales tax and there's nothing we can do about it? Well, unfortunately, what I just described is taking place on Etsy. So currently there's a list of 13 states that by a certain date, these states began charging sales tax, or they will in the future. It looks like 3 of them haven't started yet, New Jersey, DC, and Alabama, but 10 of them already have, meaning if we have customers in those 13 places, they will be charged sales tax via Etsy. Unfortunately, Printful is not aware of this, and they're trying to protect themselves, so they'll charge us sales tax either way to be remitted to the state. What that means is we're paying double sales tax to the state, so they're really coming out ahead in these specific cases, and there's nothing we can do about it. I've checked on the Printful Facebook group, and the admins have said they're aware of the issue, but they basically said, you know, I work for a company that does web development, and we just say, yeah, you know, we sent it to the dev team. Dev team's working on it. And what that means is we don't know when there's going to be a resolution, if there's going to be a resolution. Obviously, this is something that's going to anger a lot of people using the Etsy Printful integration, so hopefully they do figure it out at some point. But for now, what you'll see is, coming back over here, these 2 instances, I go in and I see there's Etsy charging me sales tax on it, and I'm being charged by Printful. So the only real winner here is the state. They're making out big time. But anyways, I mean, from a tax liability perspective, you never want to try to cheat taxes. That's a terrible solution for a long-term business model like print on demand. So just accept it, mark up your prices if you have to, do whatever you can to survive this. It's going to suck a little bit. One thing that I did note in one of the Facebook group discussions talking about the new sales tax law is that if you use Printful, and you use their dynamic shipping options and you charge your customers a flat rate for shipping. Like you can see here, I often charge my customers, actually you can't see here because this is what I actually pay Printful, but I usually charge my customers either between $5 to $5.75 flat rate for shipping any of my print on demand products. And then if Printful fulfills them, you can use the dynamic shipping, and oftentimes you can ship via DHL Expedited Express for $3.50 to the majority locations in the United States. Anywhere from $3.50 to like $4 on average. And then you pocket the difference. So if you collect $5.75, you can make between $1.50 to $2 on average, which pretty much covers the sales tax. So just a thought there. I know a lot of people do free shipping to entice customers to buy. I've experimented with and without. On Etsy specifically, I think if you run a 10% off sale, it still tags your listings in search results and lets them stand out to get those clicks from customers and let them feel like they're getting a deal either way. I definitely think you should be running some sort of a promotion, either free shipping or some sort of percent off. But just so you know, 10% off typically means you make more money than if you do free shipping. And for me, charging flat rate shipping and then using Printful's dynamic shipping to fulfill on the back end, which I made a separate video about how to get more Etsy reviews by upgrading people's shipping to DHL Expedited 1 to 3 days, and then messaging your customer on Etsy saying, hey, I bumped up your shipping for free. Little do they know they paid you more money than it costs to upgrade the shipping. You actually saved money by changing their shipping to DHL Expedited. Anyways, I'm ranting. Thank you guys for checking out this video. If you liked it, hit a thumbs up, subscribe, drop me a comment, and I'll see you at the next one.
Wherever she goes, I go, we roll, we go, flying over cities down to Rio, it's Rio, love that I feel, oh nothing lasts forever, but I'm down for the minute, so just chill.